Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Maddie here, and today we're going to be doing another deck showcase video, some live gameplay. Today we're talking about Mega Ampharos EX. This is probably one of the most slept on Mega Pokemon that released in Mega Rising. I really love Ampharos. In fact, I'm making this video for really two reasons. The first reason being is that the development of the metagame, as it will be kind of, for this next week or so, is going to be the rise, or I guess the re-rise of Suicune and Greninja. That deck has been buffed. I will be covering it definitely soon here on the channel, but I think that it is fundamentally still the strongest deck in the game. Now, luckily for us, there's other really strong decks and a bunch of other strong cards that have entered into the metagame that, can at least stand up to that Suicune variant. So that's why, or one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about Ampharos today. This particular version of Ampharos, which is going to be classified as Ampharos, Mega Ampharos with Pichu, is actually really strong. It has about a 6-0 record into Suicune so far in online tournaments this season. Not only that, but I think that, like I said, Ampharos is my favorite Mega Pokemon, so that's another reason why I wanted to make this video. But I think the decline of Blaziken that we saw a ton of, early on when the set released, which, was not a great matchup for Ampharos, the decline of Blaziken is really going to open the way, I think, for Ampharos. So I think that the way that the metagame is going right now, I really do like this deck list. Ampharos here does really well into different Oricorio decks as well. Just the ability to kind of hit a bench Pokemon and then bring it up with Cyrus. We're also playing one of the non-EX Ampharos. This is actually the Thunder Punch Ampharos, which is a really strong card. I like it because of the 2 energy attack cost, so theoretically speaking, it is a pretty valuable attacking option going into, before we go into Mega Ampharos, which is pretty useful in its own right, but it can do 120 damage if you flip heads, right? And if you don't flip heads, it's just 80 and you deal 20 damage to yourself, but that 120 can be relevant. It can one-hit KO Greninjas, and it can one-hit KO Suicunes as well. So I really like this Ampharos, and again, the key here, I believe, to this particular deck is playing it as fast-paced and as consistent as possible. That's why we're playing one copy of Flaffy, one Cleffa in here with one Copycat, one May, one Lillian, one Mars, one Cyrus. These are cards that I like to play in the deck, double rare candy. And then, like I said here, we're playing this new 70 HP Mareep. I don't know if it really matters that much, but that's the one that we're running in this deck list. And yeah, Mega Ampharos alongside only single prize Pokemon, in my mind, is kind of the best way to play it. It's interesting because the Lightning package, like the Lightning toolbox here that we have available in Pokemon Pocket, has so many strong cards. We have, Zeraora, we have Elemental Switch, we have Electrical Cord, we have Oricorio, and we also have Raikou EX and other Pokemon. And now, I do think that the Oricorio version of Ampharos is definitely not bad. It definitely helps you in that Blaziken matchup, but to be honest with you, as we've kind of mentioned for quite some time now, I don't really like Oricorio into Greninja decks. And, since Suicune Greninja is on the rise, I just would rather play a more consistent, fast-paced, aggressive version of Ampharos EX. So here's the deck list. I would highly recommend it. I think it has a lot of, decent momentum moving in to this sort of next phase, the second week of the metagame. And yeah, we're going to showcase it here on the channel. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to go register and play for Pocket Mad's Pocket Tournament number 7 this weekend. Over 350 people already registered. It's going to be another massive event. This is the largest weekly tournament series. So shout out to everybody involved. Definitely go play in that link to register down in the description below. Anyway, I'm just excited to play Ampharos. So again, there's no ranked battles, so the casual battle, queue is definitely a little bit toxic. It's hard to get some real quality gameplay in here. So, but we're going to see a massive variety of decks probably on the casual battles. I don't imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of Suicune, but if ranked does come back and when the emblem event pops up, I believe tomorrow, we're likely going to see a lot of Suicune. It's been dominating tournaments. So yeah, I'm just really high on Ampharos, and I think that it's not only extremely fun to play, but it's just one of my favorite Pokemon in the entire game right now. Yeah, let's just get right into it. So I'm really happy, honestly, with the metagame. I think that the perception of a lot of people over this past week is that, things have felt really fresh, and a lot of people are missing ranked mode, which I, definitely agree with. I would say that, ranked could have come back a little bit sooner, but looks like we're going to be playing like a Sylveon version of Altaria here, which is interesting. We lead off with Rare Candy, Mega Ampharos, Mars, and double Pokeball. So let's see if we get a little bit lucky here and grab a Mareep off these Pokeballs. The first one is Cleffa, which is definitely not super useful here. We definitely want one Mareep given the hand that we have here. And we do grab the Mareep. So going second's really nice here. We're going to be able to actually attack with Mega Ampharos on our second turn. Now, this to me is the biggest deal with Mega Ampharos, if I'm being entirely honest with you. It's the facet here that with Pichu, we can actually attack on our second turn with this Mega Pokemon, just like we would be able to with like Mega Blaziken or even Mega Altaria, thanks to the Crackly Toss and the energy acceleration of Pichu. This is not something that Ampharos, can really do unless you have like Zeraora and Elemental Switch, but that's a much more complex package. And honestly, baby Pokemon, as we know, pair very well with the Mega Pokemon. So yeah, I think that this is kind of my favorite way to play the deck right now. I'm not going to lie. We see the research come out. Hopefully he does not disrupt our hand. He's not going to be able to KO the Pichu here, which is totally fine, and he's going to pass. So this is very, very good for us. And we can actually copycat right out of this rare candy Ampharos, which is great. Copycat is a broken card. I would highly recommend it in basically every deck possible. Now, we're going really fast-paced and aggressive here. We will be able to KO this Eevee because it is the only Pokemon on our opponent's bench. We're able to go into this, do 100 damage to the Mega Altaria, and then just KO this Eevee, which is definitely going to be really nice. So let's go ahead and Copycat, just to kind of basically just draw 4 cards. We're going to go +4 off this Copycat. We'll keep the Mars, or we'll put it back into the deck. I think that's totally fine here. Research, Pichu, Mareep, and Cyrus. Okay, so a lot of good cards. I'm not going to bench the Mareep yet, but there is a case actually to be made to bench it. There's no like bench damage. I am actually just going to do it. I think that's probably fine. Because you never really know if we can set up that non-EX Ampharos in a couple of turns. So anyway, Lightning Lancer, it does 100 damage, but 60 spread across the bench. And since he only has one bench Pokemon, look at that, one hit KOing the Eevee. Definitely really excuse me, definitely really strong. There's nothing in the game that can really do that to Mega Ampharos. I think that there's a lot of 60 or lower HP Pokemon that are going to be on the benches. Yeah, and we're going to see an early concession from our opponent. So, you know, as we saw there, just the aggressive going second Pichu, turn 2 Mega Ampharos combo, just the ability to do that on a pretty consistent basis is really nice. I find myself not really using the Cleffa that much, but there definitely are times where it's fine to sacrifice like the one prize Pokemon, baby Pokemon, just to kind of guarantee that we can get that Ampharos out at least at some point. So the May as well going to be really nice. There are some times maybe where we want to go with the non-EX Ampharos first and maybe do like a 1-1 into a, you know, a 3 prize trade there. But anyway, yeah, I really like this deck. I do. And traditionally when I was testing Blaziken early on in this new season, I was just struggling against Blaziken, right, with the 210 HP amount. It was really difficult, but Ampharos definitely not a bad Pokemon, especially in water decks that we're hitting for weakness on. I really do like the deck. Anyway, we're going second yet again, so let's see what we lead off with here. Looks like we're playing another Lightning deck. This might be the same opponent. I forget to remember the names, but anyway. Pichu lead going second as well. Again, we have Research and Pokeball. This time a Tapu Lele lead, which is interesting. He will be able to deal some bench damage here. So we have to be careful of that. We do have our Lily in hand, so let's see what we can grab. There's another Pichu right off the bat. So I'm going to research before Pokeball here because I want to try to maximize my odds of getting a Mareep. Even though it's a very slight difference, there is the non-EX Ampharos and Rare Candy. So now all we're missing here, of course, is just going to be a Mareep. We have a decent chance of grabbing it here, and we get it. Okay, awesome. This is absolutely incredible. Exactly what we want, if we're being entirely honest with you. Back-to-back games going really well. I am just going to bench this Pichu, although it doesn't really matter, but I am just going to probably bench it in case, you know, whatever happens. But double Ampharos in hand with Lily and Rare Candy, and we are going to go ahead and get the double energies on our first turn to Mareep. So you guys are seeing definitely the upside of playing Pichu Ampharos in back-to-back games here. I swear I'm not cherry-picking games. I just sit down and I record for about 30-40 minutes, and whatever we get is what you guys get. So he is going to be able to attack us here for 40 damage on our Mareep, but we're not really too stressed about that because we will be attacking with Ampharos next turn, which is definitely going to be pretty fun here. So he's going to research, all good. I wouldn't mind a nice little Mars off the next turn, but we could preemptively Lily and just go back to full HP. We will be one-hit KOing the Tapu Lele, so whatever he benches here, if it is a basic Pokemon, will be getting likely KO'd by the Ampharos. However, we do see Pokeball, so it's pretty likely he's got more than one basic. Oh, and he Giant Capes the active. That's a spicy play. And I like that. Now, he might choose to KO the Pichu here. Okay, so it's going to be Indeedee. Okay, I like this. A lot of people playing Jirachi, but Tapu Lele is a really strong card, and I honestly would kind of recommend it in different scenarios, right? Other than Jirachi. So he's going to go ahead, target the Mareep. That's the correct play, I would say, from our opponent here. But the Cyrus top deck is phenomenal, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit. Because what we're going to do here is leave this Tapu Lele on 10 HP, which is definitely unfortunate, but the damage we're doing to the bench is going to be pretty significant. If we happen to hit Indeedee for, you know, potentially 40 damage or whatever it might be, we can actually just Cyrus up either of these and then maybe KO this Tapu Lele the following turn on the bench, which is definitely nice. So I'm just going to Lily this preemptively. I'm not really messing around here. I'm just going to heal this up immediately, and we're going to retreat and just start hitting right now with Lightning Lancer. I mean, this is the pacing that, again, is going to be really nice if we're playing Suicune, but it's really nice into just most matchups anyway. Let's see how this bench damage goes out. It's 100% on the Swablu, which we don't mind. We really don't mind. The prize trading here obviously doesn't work out extremely well for us, but you know what? Hey, It is what it is. I was kind of hoping to hit the Indeedee so that I could Cyrus it up and maybe take a 2-prize KO. But he's going to hit me for 60, and then this Indeedee might actually be able to KO me with the math, right? So it's doing, what is this, 120? So we're still living. 60 plus 120 is 180. We're still actually living here, which is ideal, but we're not going to be able to one-hit KO the Indeedee, which is actually a little bit scary now that I mention it. So, yeah, we're going to be in a bit of an awkward spot here, but we are going to be doing 60 to the Indeedee, so I think it'll work out. We definitely don't want to attach more energy so that we don't get KO'd, but right, so it's 30 plus 90, right? So yeah, so it'll be 120 damage, which we should be living pretty confidently. I'm not going to attach any more energies though, so we'll do 60 right here. We'll do 60 to this Indeedee, and now, unless he benches like a second Indeedee, we should be able to KO it, but Indeedee's a really, really strong Pokemon. I would say that Indeedee's probably one of the worst Pokemon for Ampharos, just because of that healing, and the fact that we're spreading damage. Their ability to heal up like a ton is definitely a pretty big deal, but we've gotten rid of the bench sniping Pokemon here, so theoretically speaking, we could maybe pivot and go into Cleffa, but we don't really want that, because if we bench Cleffa, then we're kind of in a bad spot. So the Swablu comes down. But does he have the second Indeedee? It doesn't look like he does here. We might be able to walk away just barely unscathed. Yeah, okay, cool. The second Indeedee definitely would have been tough. In fact, I would have rather got damage off on the Indeedee the turn prior instead of all 60 on the Swablu, but Ampharos putting in some absolutely incredible work here. Again, a turn 2 Mega Ampharos, like going second, is not something that many decks are going to be able to deal with properly. I forgot to thank my opponent. My apologies. But yeah, I mean, I just really love Ampharos, and this is kind of my favorite way to play it, quite honestly. I know we hit like back-to-back Altaria decks, and Swablu doesn't love that bench damage, but there's definitely going to be some games where we go first, or rather we don't get Ampharos out. So, you know, the deck list definitely has high potential, which is why I think Pichu is worth it. But you're not always going to get the turn 2 Ampharos out, right? So that's just something that you're going to have to deal with for sure. We're going first this time. Okay, so good. Now we have some gameplay where we're not going to be steamrolling. And we do double Mareep lead. Okay, so this is now worst case scenario, which is good. I'm glad that we're actually able to showcase this particular scenario on the board here. And Regigigas. Wow, okay. Quite the interesting Pokemon here to be going up against. And anyway, let's see how this goes here. We do Pokeball right off the bat. We have Flaffy and we have Mega Ampharos in hand, so we might just be sort of manually attaching here. I'm just going to bench the Cleffa. I don't know what we're playing here. Could be some crazy Regigigas Gyarados deck. I have really no idea. There's no way to know here on the casual ladder what decks are going to be going up against, but we'll see. So he's just going to manually attach the active. This might be a Pokemon he doesn't want to lead off with. I don't really know what the strategy here is for him, but I am just going to attach and probably just hit him. I'm not going to evolve yet. Do we want to evolve? No, because like we're behind on energies. If we were going second, we would evolve and hit, but I'm just going to do this. I know it does more damage based around the equal 50 plus whatever damage is onto it. So if we evolve here, we're going to be safe kind of regardless, because we'll put, you know, enough damage onto it. We do get red carded, which is unfortunate. Probably should have evolved, but it's okay. The research is fine. Ampharos is fine. Copycat is even more than fine. So he's going to cape the Regigigas. So he's going just big boy Regigigas right off the bat, which is definitely a little bit scary. We're 2 turns away from getting attacked though. So that's not too bad for me, I would say. And I'm going to research first. I'm not going to Copycat because we do have the Ampharos in hand. We see another Pichu and a Cyrus. Okay, so our hand is not very good. I will be probably benching this Pichu. It's probably fine. Now, okay, so we have to make a quick decision here as to like what we really want to do. We could retreat and just start crackly tossing with Pichu. This would buffer the energies, and then potentially we could go into like a non-EX Ampharos. It doesn't really matter if the baby Pokemon get KO'd, which is why I kind of do want to just pivot. But we could also go into Cleffa to thin out our deck a little bit, but we're probably going to Copycat next turn. I assume he's going to have extra cards in his hand. So I'm just going to go the energy route. I'm going to manually retreat here, and I'm going to start actually splitting the energies, because he can't attack me next turn, and I really don't mind if he KOs the Pichu, right? What we want to do is like set up potentially, you know, a scenario here where, you know, we're going to leave about a small amount of HP here, right? So if we're going to take a big attack, I would rather the non-EX Ampharos take that attack, quite frankly. Okay, so here's the time. Definitely where we're just going to Copycat. It feels bad because we already have a lot of cards in our hand, but he's got 5 cards. So we'll see 5 new cards here, likely, hopefully finding some evolution Pokemon or rare candy. So there's a Flaffy, which is good. May is good. Lily, not that bad. Rare candy. And then Mars. Okay. This is interesting. This is quite interesting now. So I kind of want to hold the Flaffy because we have May in hand and Rare Candy, and he already red carded. So what I'm going to do here is actually just Crackly Toss. I'm going to split the energies, and we're going to try our best and bank potentially on drawing into both Ampharoses here. It's a little bit sketchy, but theoretically speaking, I assume he's playing healing. Yeah, okay, the Oricorio coming down is definitely a bit scary. So, okay. This is tough because we don't have any way to like one-hit KO the Regigigas, but we also don't have a great way of, we have to be really careful here. So I feel like what we want to do, this is like a really bad scenario for us. We might, because if we go into the non-EX Ampharos, he will just KO us unless we hit for 80, I believe. So let's do this. Let's do this. We'll have to do a little bit of quick math. But we'll play the May. We do have a Lily. Okay, so we go Mega Ampharos and Ampharos, which is good. So I'm going to trade away the Pichu. This is actually a little bit tough here. In fact, I would rather, because we have only one Rare Candy, and I kind of want to keep the Flaffy. So but do we want to go first? So if we hit with Ampharos EX, if we do 120, we will be getting KO'd. But if we do 80, we do 20 damage to ourselves, and then we still get KO'd because we're getting a hit for 130. So that's kind of a tough scenario. I think what we have to do first, in fact, is actually go into Mega Ampharos, but then potentially have to retreat out, which obviously doesn't feel very good, but we can Mars him as well. The thing is, if Ampharos goes down, we don't have anything for that Oricorio, which is tough. So I think I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to put this Ampharos away, hopefully draw into it a little bit later. And I am just going to have to Rare Candy and then get an attack off here with Mega Ampharos because we're not going to be getting KO'd on the we're not going to be getting Revenge KO'd, which is definitely a little unfortunate, but it's kind of what we have to do. I'm going to manually evolve this Flaffy here. And we could actually Twinkly Call, but I'm just going to attack this turn if the timer doesn't run out because we're taking too long. And we're just going to Lightning Lancer. So unfortunately, we will be getting hit for a lot of damage after this, but we're not getting KO'd, right? And we can Mars him back down to 2 cards. We can even like Lily next turn if we want to. Flaffy will be getting KO'd, be able to KO if he doesn't heal here. So it's a little bit of a tough situation, but okay, the red comes down. That's totally fine. We knew this would happen. This is why we went into Mega Ampharos so that we weren't getting Revenge KO'd by the Regigigas. It's one of the few scenarios where we're able to do this. And I don't mind this Pichu really at all. And this Oricorio is not going to be able to finish. He's got only water energies. So this actually works out pretty fine for me. 180 is a lot of damage. It is. But now what we can do pretty comfortably, I would say. And there is actually the baby Ampharos, which I love. So actually what I'm going to do is Lily the active because he's not KOing us next turn regardless. We're going to hold the Mars. I'm going to just Lily and I'm going to stay in. And here we go. We top decked the Thunder Punch. I'm not going to go into Thunder Punch Ampharos yet. I am going to Lightning Lancer to potentially KO this Pichu so that we can KO the Oricorio in the following turn. I think it's kind of worth doing that. So let's go ahead and Lightning Lancer. We'll take the KO on the Regigigas. Maybe KO the Pichu. Okay, only 20 on the Pichu. That's unfortunate for sure. But not the end of the world. We do still have a Cyrus in the deck as well. So 90 HP. That was our only Lily, but he can't attack us this turn. He's going to rely on Pichu to deal the damage, but we have Thunder Punch here. This is my favorite art in the entire game, by the way. I'm such a big Ampharos fan. Regigigas comes down. Okay, so this is interesting. Is he going to actually accelerate to Regigigas, I wonder? I wonder. No, yeah, he's setting up the Oricorio, which is fine. Okay. So now I think we want to retreat. Well, we could get damage off on the Regigigas, but would that really matter that much? Is it better to Lightning Lancer here? Probably not, because we don't want to get Cyrus and lose if he attacks the Mega Ampharos for 50, right? So I think we just retreat manually here. We're not gonna go ahead and do the whole Lightning Lancer shenanigans here. We still have Mars in hand, which I'm gonna hold, and I'm just gonna KO the Pichu. And now he's forced to go into the Regigigas, which again is fine for us, right? Because it's not really a threat. We do flip heads, so we're not damaging ourselves here, which is nice. And then again, if he goes into Oricorio, he loses. If he goes into Regigigas, not that big of a deal, right? So I think we're at a good spot. I like how we played this. We had to think for a little bit here. This is definitely a bit of an awkward matchup, but yeah. The Thunder Punch Ampharos is massively underrated. This thing has 150 HP. Could deal 120 for 2 energies. This card is good. This is not a bad card at all. I really do like it. And again, he's only got 1 prize here, so we're just going to attack him pretty freely, and then, you know, unless he can get 2 energies on and Cyrus us, it's really not going to be that big of a deal here. There's our other rare candy. So I think the play here is just going to be attacking. And I'm going to Mars him now. I'm just going to Mars him right now. I don't know how he can... Maybe he has Elemental Switch in the deck, which would be scary, but then we'll just finish off on KOing with Mega Ampharos, right? So, yeah. 80 plus... Yeah, 80 plus 100 will KO this thing probably regardless, so... yeah, okay. We should be fine. I don't even think he KOs us. So 50 plus 80, 1/3. No, he will KO us. But it's fine, because he only has one prize. So, Thunder Punch Ampharos putting in the absolute crazy amount of work. Only 2 cards in the deck here. All right, I think we're doing pretty good. I really like this. In all my time, I've played so much Ampharos, you guys have no idea. I've been trying every way to play this deck list whatsoever, and I really do think that the way that the meta is going right now, this would be kind of how I would recommend you build Ampharos and play it. I just really like it. We haven't played a Suicune yet, but like the pacing here, and the baby Pokemon being liabilities doesn't really matter at all when you're playing Greninja, because like... You know, like you're playing, you know, you just don't bench more than 3 single prize Pokemon, and then they just have to go through the Mega anyway, right? So that's the upside there. Whereas like typically in 2 prizer decks, baby Pokemon are definitely massive liabilities into Suicune, but in this deck list, it doesn't really matter, right? It's just sort of how the prizing math works, which is good. Our opponent might have Rage Quit, which happens, you know, on the casual ladder. Let's be fair though, it happens on ranked ladder all the time anyway, so... What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, man. Yeah, I'm excited for the Emblem event, you know. I do wish that ranked was back a little bit sooner. A whole month without ranked is just a little bit too much, you know what I mean? That's my opinion, but anyway, let's finish the game here. Thunder Punch, Ampharos, absolute legend, the best full art in the entire game. The art is incredible. A lot of damage. I mean... I know we're not playing Will or anything, but like 80 or 120, either way, on average doing 100 damage for 2 energies with 150 HP is not bad at all. I mean, this thing just kind of steamrolls through Oricorio, which is nice, right? So that's why we're playing it in the deck. Even the Flaffy doing 50 to 2 AK Oricorio can come in handy for sure. All right, let's play like 1 or 2 more games here. I'll thank my opponent even though he rage quitted on me. It's all good. You know, mobile app game issues, right? People just close the app and they just go about their day. All good. All good. Nobody cares about my time. I'm just trying to make a video here. I'm just trying to showcase my boy Ampharos. Anyway, let's see what we got next here. What are you guys thinking about this metagame? What decks have you been playing? The last deck that we showcased was Absol or Oricorio. That was sort of the counter meta deck to Blaziken, which I knew was definitely very strong in that moment. We're playing another water matchup and leading Mareep, which is definitely unfortunate. Double rare candy and Flaffy in hand. I don't like our hand. I don't like our start. We are going to be able to attack this Froakie for weakness here, which might matter in the long run, but yeah, definitely don't really want to be leading Mareep here, given the scenarios, but maybe we can get an early Mars off, disrupt our opponent just a little bit. But back-to-back games leading Mareep is tough. We have 2 Mareep in the deck and 3 baby Pokemon. So the odds of us leading a baby Pokemon are about 60 to 65%. Or no, they're more than that, right? Yeah, it's probably about closer to 70% actually. He does bench the Suicune here, and we have the Cyrus, which I actually don't even mind the Cyrus. I'm just going to attach, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit this thing for 30. And if he doesn't evolve next turn, which to be fair, he likely will, we can actually bring this Froakie back up and KO it, right? So let's see if he has a retreat option. I mean, let's just see what he's got going, right? I mean, it's Suicune. He could just pop off. He attaches to Suicune, benches a second Suicune, which is a little bit scary here. And he's going to Mars me, which I don't love. I know we're going negative 2 cards here, but our hand was pretty bad anyway. I like the Flaffy, I like the rare candy, and I like Mega Ampharos, so, you know, no hate whatsoever. He actually capes the Froakie, which is crazy. So what's really insane about what we can do here is we could, if we evolve into Flaffy, like he can't KO us because he won't have a Froakie. So 90 HP coincidentally does keep us safe even from a Suicune. So I'm just going to evolve this way, and I'm not going to bench anything this turn. And we're just going to go double energies. We're just going to manually cruise here. We don't want to bench any more Pokemon, so I'm just going to zap kick, KO the Froakie, and now he doesn't have a Greninja next turn. We live a hit from Suicune, we evolve into Mega Ampharos, and you know, we just go from there, I guess, is the plan. We don't have a Lily, though, which is a little bit scary, but it's okay. It's all good. The other cool thing about Ampharos into Suicune is that, you know, if you go second in a situation like this, you know, theoretically speaking, you kind of can just kind of carry through the game with an Ampharos because you have so much HP, especially if you draw into that 1 copy of Lily. Like, they just don't do enough damage to kind of take, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're just kind of, we're doing a little bit too much here. But the Suicune matchup, this is a very unfortunate kind of situation for the Suicune matchup. He actually goes into this week, and he might have just rage quit the game. I'm not going to lie. He might have just rage quit. Did he rage quit? By the way, the reason we're playing the Flaffy is because of Chingling and stuff, which is definitely still in the format, in the metagame. But yeah, we might have just made our third opponent in the row rage quit. There's nothing we can do. I know you guys are like, you probably don't want to see this, but I mean, you know, literally, what can I do here? Like, what else can I do? Just going a quick 4 in a row with Mega Ampharos. Absolutely vibing. Yeah, man, I love Ampharos. The full art, by the way, this is the coolest card in the game. It really is. It's so cool. He's got like the little bald version of him behind him, and then he's got, look at me, I got hair this time. He's like, I look the exact same, but now I got some nice long hair. I love Ampharos, man. It's got to be one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Got to be one of my favorites. Another rage quit, huh? I mean, am I really gonna have to edit these portions out of the video? I don't want to edit the video. I don't like to edit. But I mean, if we're waiting 30 seconds every game because our opponents just quit the game, like what is there to do really? I know he's probably upset, but come on now. Oh man, oh man. How is your guys' day going? What decks are you guys playing? What are your thoughts? Have you guys played Ampharos? If you're curious, Ampharos is in the Altaria pack. And there's the Lily as well. The Lily top deck was kind of insult to injury. I'm not going to let him know, but yeah, that's kind of brutal. People might be like, well, why don't you play like red in the deck so that you can one-hit KO Suicune? That's definitely a thing, but you got to understand, Suicune is oftentimes playing, they're oftentimes playing like Double Giant Cape, and they're playing Irida, right? So even if we were to play red, we're not KOing if they Giant Cape, and then even if we were playing red and they Giant Cape and we leave them at 20 HP, like they can always just Irida on their following turn, right? So I really don't think red is that useful in the deck list, because Ampharos doesn't really care about taking one-hit KOs. It cares about, you know, dealing damage to the active and the bench, and then having the control to kind of choose whichever Pokemon they want to KO. So instead of red, like you could even justify a second Cyrus, but you know, cards like May and Copycat are really, really good consistency cards, and I think that Lily is going to win you so many games with Ampharos. So yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. You know, shout out to our opponents here that are just rage quitting from the Ampharos. We didn't even do anything this game. We literally just went second and then just evolved up. You know, we just attacked on curve, which is, again, pretty crazy. You know, if like for Ampharos, like to do 10 and then to do 50 and then to do 100 and then 60 to the bench, like it's just a ton of damage, you know. Mareep with 70 HP and then Flaffy with 90, like these are kind of big Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, you know what? I feel bad because the last couple opponents have rage quit. Shout out, you guys can disrespect all of these guys that we've played in the video. I don't know who they are, but we're gonna do one more game here. We're gonna do one more game, but trust me, I really do like Ampharos. I think it's a quality Pokemon. It just always kind of struggled, like in that opening weekend, just because of the decks that we're seeing play. But now it's all, you know, Oricorio. It's all Oricorio Absol. It's Suicune Greninja. It's Altaria. Like it really is like a quality deck. It's a lot stronger than, you know, you guys might think. So it looks like we're playing another lightning deck here. Hopefully we don't get like outpaced, but we can go first and lead Pichu. We do have Oricorio here in our face, but you know, it's not the end of the world, to be honest. And we draw a Pokeball. Okay. All right. Let's see what we do here. Is this, it is another Pichu. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I'm just going to Crackly Toss. Because we're playing one May in the deck, you always got to be careful, you know, benching a Pokemon if you don't have to, because those Pokemon in your hand could be used for a May, you know, later on in the game. But no research, no Copycat, no May, anything like that. So we're definitely going to be a little bit limited, but we can hit this Oricorio for 50. You know, we certainly can. He's going to research. He's going to Pokeball research turn 1, so good for him. And he is playing an Oricorio deck. Imagine playing Oricorio in the casual ladder. This man's playing Oricorio Silvally, which is nuts. I wonder too, I haven't played a lot of Silvally, but I assume Silvally probably is not a great matchup for Ampharos. I would imagine not. I mean, maybe it's fine, but probably doesn't feel that good. If we see an Ampharos, yeah, okay. I'm definitely just going into Flaffy here. Yeah, and May, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hold on now. What do we want to do here? I kind of wish we played like a Sabrina in the deck. Do I want to go into Cleffa here to potentially pull out the non-EX Ampharos just to KO this Oricorio here? Probably. I think we don't really need the energy, so I'm actually just going to go into Cleffa. I'm actually just going to go into our Cleffa here. And yeah, let's Twinkly Call. I bet he's probably playing a lot of Disruption in this Silvally Oricorio deck. Is it Ampharos? Okay, it's not the right one. I forgot, we are playing 2 Megas and then 1 non-Mega, but we do have May. So, I mean, May plus the double Mega Ampharos in our hands is basically going to guarantee that we can get the other Ampharos. The Silvally comes down, but the cool thing is that we actually want to kill the Silvally if we flip heads. The Poison Barb is a bit of an annoying card, I'm not going to lie. But we can want to kill the Oricorio, and then he can't even attack us next turn. So, I'm really not too stressed about anything here. So, we also have Lily. We're definitely going to get a couple of turns here. We just probably want another Mareep. So, ideally, what we could pull off this May would be like Mareep and Thunder Punch Ampharos. That would be sort of the ideal scenario. So anyway, let's pop off with the May here because we have Pichu in hand. We want to trade that. There's Mareep, and there it is. This is broken. I mean, it's literally perfect, right? You can't really say anything else. We're going to put these 2 cards away. Absolutely incredible. And we have double rare candy in our deck as well. So we love this. So what we can do is just we're going to just pop off. Again, 2 energy attack cost is really nice because we can start attaching to the other Mareep here. Maybe we just draw into a rare candy. We have 8 cards left in our deck, double rare candy. We're going to KO this Ampharos, and he just doesn't have anything he can do after this. We are going to get poisoned, though, but it's all good. Tails is fine, doesn't matter. We do 20 damage to ourselves, so it's not ideal. We can just sort of Lily up here and then survive from the Silvally, but if we flip heads, we are one at KOing the Silvally, so that's really relevant. And even when the Ampharos goes down, he has to go through Mega Ampharos. You know, that's like the core strength of this deck, I think, and I just think it flows really, really well. And he has to go into the type null, so he might just attack me here with the type null, but then he's getting KO'd if he doesn't evolve, so I don't really know what the strategy here is with him. Maybe we hold the Lily? It depends. There's no guarantee that we draw rare candy. We do have 1 research and 1 Pokeball left in the deck. What else do we have in the deck? We have double rare candy, Pokeball, research, Copycat. Okay, those are all good cards. He actually attaches to the bench, which is funny. But if we Lily here, he just can't KO us, right? No matter what, even with the poison, we just have 140 HP on his turn. And he does have all the active as well. Okay, so this is fine. This is all good. Do we hold the Lily? Because then we could lose, right, to... Yeah, it's a bit awkward because we could get Sabrina and lose, right, which we don't really want. Yeah, nice. Okay, we top deck the rare candy. We go into Mega Ampharos here. We can't attack with it yet. So what I am going to do here is pretty comfortably just use this Lily on the active because I would rather not get KO next turn and then lose to like a Sabrina. But we still have Mars in the deck as well, so that's something to keep in mind. Let's see if we flip heads here. Nah, we don't. Okay, that's really unfortunate. Back-to-back tails is kind of tough. But, I mean, he attached to the bench, which is kind of crazy, right? So, like, we can just retreat into Mega Ampharos and then deal 60 to this. Yeah, he's just going to concede. I think we had him locked down regardless. I mean, absolute dominance. I mean, what is that, 5 in a row? 5 in a row for Ampharos here? I love it. It's my favorite Pokemon in the set. I know it's not anything super popular. I know Altaria won week 1. I know Blaziken was the hot deck. I know Absol is everybody's also kind of favorite, but I really think Ampharos is massively slept on. And I think it's going to be super, super impactful. And I think that it is kind of the missing piece to the meta, right? I think that, you know, I was a little bit afraid, you know, once Blaziken fell off, we saw some Oricorio dominance. I knew the upgraded Suicune Greninja would be back on the rise. And I was a little bit afraid. And I was like, man, like we need to be prepared. We need to have the right tools in order to combat, you know, the Suicune dominance, which is inevitably coming as probably the best all-around deck. And I think that this Ampharos deck has the best potential to do that. So I don't know if this video is going to really pop off on YouTube. I don't know if it's really going to hit the algorithm. But honestly, if you guys are watching this video, like share this out, because anybody competitive in Pokemon Pocket or anybody that is really looking to develop and really, you know, build upon the metagame, this is on it. Like I can't recommend this enough. I think that Ampharos has the opportunity to be a major player in the metagame. And what's good about it is it's not like overwhelmingly broken. It really is a bit of a counter meta deck list. But in my experience, all of the testing with Ampharos, this is kind of my favorite way to play it right now. So that's the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. The support has been incredible. Smash that subscribe button. Let's get the channel to 40,000 subscribers. Shout out to Mega Ampharos, man. My favorite Mega. I love it. I love it. I mean, we kind of just dominated this video, but this is a really good deck. It's really good. I'm telling you guys, really quality. Be careful changing cards out of the deck. There are some things that I think are very crucial. You know, the Flaffy is interesting, but I do think it helps with the consistency of the deck. And I think that May is absolutely broken with this Pokemon lineup. Even though though we didn't really utilize Cleffa here, it's not bad to start with Cleffa. It's better than starting Cleffa than Mareep, right? So that's why we're playing the Cleffa. And I do really think Mars is useful with double baby Pokemon in the deck as well. If you were to cut anything from this deck, it would probably be the Mars. Like if you wanted to swap anything, you could swap Mars for like a red. But honestly, I really do like Mars, and I think Disruption is important in Pokemon Pocket right now in this metagame. So there you go, guys. What do you guys think? Comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, stay tuned. I love it, man. Shout out to Ampharos. I'm on Team Ampharos. He's my guy. He is my guy. Let's hope we can get him into the metagame. Hopefully he performs well this weekend. I will tell you that I kind of assume Suicune to be the #1 most played deck going into Pocket Mad's tournament number 7, which you should go register. Link down in the description below. So be prepared. Be prepared for those Suicunes. Play your Ampharos decks. And yeah, best of luck to everybody. All right, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. We'll see you guys later. We'll make a video tomorrow about the best decks for the upcoming Emblem event, which I believe begins tomorrow if you're not playing the Legends ZA update. But anyway, peace out. Have a good one. We'll see you guys later. Bye.